So two guys break into the homie Leonidas' house, knock him out, tie him up, start robbing the place. Then he says he can't fight fate and proceeds to do devious things to the daughter and wife before he kills them. This is Fox. He's the assistant DA talking to the DA, his boss, about how some of the evidence is admissible in court and he's going to take a plea deal. The DA asks if he's doing the right thing. He says yes. So he tells him about the plea deal, tells Leo. He says that one of them's going to sell out the other and one will get a short sentence while the other will get death. And Leo can't even believe this shit. He's like, yo, are you serious? Was my wife and my daughter a joke to you? This ain't no game. And he's like, yo, we know they did it, but it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. And we're not going to be able to prove it for sure. And he's like, you know what? This ain't even justice. So in the courtroom, they accept the plea agreement, and Guy 1 starts making jokes about dude's wife. At the press conference, he tells him what happened, and Guy 1 shakes his hand and thanks him, saying that justice has been served, the system does work. But Leo ain't even having that shit. He's in a daze. So he goes home, Fox does, and he's talking with his wife, and she's pregnant. 10 years later, he's waking up. He's still assistant DA. His daughter has a recital tonight, but he ain't gonna make it. Says, yo, I'll catch it on Facebook Live. This is the day that Guy 2 is getting sentenced to death, and that's the reason why he ain't there to see his daughter's recital, putting business first. It's kind of sick and morbid. Guy 2 says he didn't rape nobody and kill nobody, but it doesn't stop them from lethal injection in them, but it goes horribly wrong. It's not normal, and everybody's happy, sick fucks. So he's talking with the DA, and they're like, yo, this has never happened before. And they find a bottle that is marked with "you can't fight fate." So they go and fight Guy 1 because he's out on parole. He's doing a little snorty, and he gets a call from some unknown number saying that like the police is on the way and he's got to get out of there. The police are on the way. They about to pull up with their ceilings missing. So he gets gone. He's following the directions of the guy on the phone. He says, yo, get rid of the gun, keep running towards the warehouse. And instead of going into the warehouse, he jumps into a cop's car who's asleep and takes his gun, tells him to make moves. So they stop, gets out. He's going to try to execute him, but he gets a call. Come to find out, the cop is actually the dad. And when he tries to shoot him, he gets a trap gun reaction, which leaves him poisoned by a jellyfish, so he's immobile. He takes him into the warehouse and tells him he's about to feel pain like he ain't never felt before, and this is what it is. Can't fight fate, right? So he gets to it, puts him through it, and records the whole thing. Probably gonna put it on 4chan. So the DA is sitting there and he can't understand what happened, but then they believe that it has to be the dad because they found guy number 2 in his warehouse dead. He owned that warehouse. So the DA and everybody's about to make moves on Leo. They pull up to his residence. He pops out. He's like, cool. You know, comes out with no shirt on, showing he ain't got no weapons, and then he just mugs the shit out of Fox. So they go and they start looking at the tape. They look at his property, and they're seeing all kinds of stuff about the old case. They're going to go interrogate him, but first he calls his wife and lets him know. The daughter's like, yo, well, let's watch my recital. It just came in the mail. Mom ain't got time for that, so she sits down to watch it, and it's actually the video of him massacring that dude. So Fox sits him down, is like, yo, what is this all about, man? Why after all this time? And he's like, you know what? I have wanted to kill him. Yeah, I thought about it all the time. He thinks that's some kind of admittance of guilt. And he's like, no, I didn't say I did it. I just said that I thought about it. So why don't you sit your black ass back down? Because this ain't even close to over. And he's like, oh yeah? It ain't over? He's like, oh no, we just getting started. You think that you know justice, but you didn't give a fuck about my family. Now you care about the people that killed them? Nah, get out of here with that. Let's play chess. trust me, this ain't gonna be checkers. So his boss is like, yo, man, you better get that dude what he wants. What he say he wants? And Fox says he said he wants a mattress for his jail cell. He's like, well, get his ass a mattress. So they gotta get him the nice quality queen, you know what I'm saying, sleep mattress. And during the bail hearing, he proves that, like, yo, there's no case against me. And so she's about to give him bail, and he's like, yo, you stupid. You about to just let me out? Man, what's wrong with you? If y'all think I killed somebody, you shouldn't be trying to let me out, you old dumb bitch. You know what I'm saying? And she gets mad, and she's like, all right, no bail. You going back to jail. And he's like, yeah, you stupid cunt. Should have did that before. So they in the octagon having a stare down. And he's like, yo, all I want, you want a confession? Get me a nice big T-bone and an iPod for dinner. And he's like, man, fuck you. I ain't doing that shit. You think I'm some puppet? He's like, oh, you gonna be more than a puppet before this is over, pimp. And he's like, oh, yeah, whatever. Huh? Yeah, whatever. So he takes off. And then they just get a call that the lawyer is missing. And then he tells them, yo, if you want to ever see the lawyer again, you'll get me my dinner. And it better be on time. So they finally get him his dinner. And at the last minute, the warden's like, wait, hold on. Nah, we ain't listening to him. So they get it to him late. And he's like, yo, okay, this is where the lawyer is, right? But the only thing is that countdown wasn't for me. It was for him, so you better hurry. So they jet to the chopper. And then while he's eating, he's listening to iPad, whatever. He's getting along with his cellmate. He's like, okay, cool, you have some of this steak. But he really just wanted the T-bone. And he tells him to turn up the music and then just starts giving him the old American meat, just shanked him up. So they find the lawyer, but he's dead because they were late getting to him, and therefore he ran out of oxygen. So it's really their fault. And then he gets the call about Leo stabbing up his cellie, and they move him to solitary. So in solitary, he's like, yo, why you doing all this revenge? He's like, you don't even get it. This ain't about revenge. Then he gives him the bracelet of his daughter and says, what was his daughter and his wife think about it? And he's like, they wouldn't think of anything about it because they dead. So they meet with this old CIA agent guy, and he tells him that, like, yo, Leo is the operative of operatives. He'll kill you and not even be in the room. So if they're alive, then it means they want him alive. And if he's in the jail, he wants to be in jail because he could kill you at any time. So your best bet is to go in there and blow his brains out, feel me? And then he makes moves. He's a ghost. So they're like, man, we should have did the right thing, man. I don't think we did the right thing. So then they meet with the judge and it's like, yo, we need to take away all of his privileges because he's got somebody working with him. She's about to sign it and she's like, oh, let me answer the phone, and gets a brain blown out. Know what I mean? Real serious. So now we do a 360 around the octagon. He's like, yo, why are you doing this? Man, you need to stop. And he's like, yo, I need to stop? No, you need to stop because you never gave up justice. You give up justice so you can have a career. And so they move him to deep, dark confinement, the hole under the hole. And then his assistant and them are meeting. They're just trying to figure it out. There's like, none of this shit makes sense. How is he doing this? So they go and they have an all-nighter damn near. But when they leave in the next morning, all of their cars get blown up, including the white girl, his assistant. So he's still not understanding how all this is happening. But now the mayor gets involved and she's like, yo, you better put him in the hole under the hole and then bury the hole because I would love to use him for my Suicide Squad. So he meets with his family, Fox does, sends him out of town, you know what I mean? And then he starts looking at some of the photos and he's like, yo, man, he's starting to question himself. They go meet with Leo, you know, behind the fence, and Fox starts beating him up. And he's like, yo, you think this is it? Nah, I got something that's gonna be biblical. And then the detective pulls a string on him. He tells him to stand down. Then at the funeral for everybody that got deaded, you know, even the DA's like, yo, I think we made a mistake. Now somebody pulls up with this little device that's something better than even Call of Duty got. And he lays everybody down, including the DA and the detective. He even sends a rocket launcher at him. So now the mayor's like, yo, I will fire your ass. But you know what? I need a DA because it's really about politics. So go out there and find what's stop this shit. So they driving around, they making moves. There's a lockdown, like, pandemic style. And then he starts looking at his properties that Leo owns. And in the last 10 years, he's bought up a lot. And he also has a garage that's right near the prison. So they go and check it out. And they just see, a woodwork of tunnels under the garage that leads back to the prison in every single solitary confinement cell. So he had been planning something, and they go to his cell. He ain't even there. He actually at the courthouse where all the mayor and everybody's about to meet. He's about to set him up. He's about to blow the brakes off of the whole situation. And he's setting it up looking like a janitor. And then he sets it all up. Then he goes and leaves right before they catch him. They saw him, but about time they got there, he was gone. But they found the device that he was about to use, right? So they're like, yo, this set by a cellular phone call, so it could go off any time. So they staked out his garage, saw him going back to his cell. And then when he gets in his cell, he's surprised by Fox. Fox is like, yo, don't even do it, man. We know what you're about to do. It doesn't have to end like this. He's like, oh, so what, you here to make new deals? He's like, no deals this time. I get what you were saying the whole time. So before you do this, think about it, because it'll affect the rest of your life. And he's like, yeah, whatever, nigga. I ain't hearing you. And he makes a call, and he said, by the rest of your life, I meant the next 25 seconds. Because they ended up locking up his way out, and they put the device under his bed. So he's looking at the break.